years back, I guess communication was mainly one way.
I feel it has made communication difficult.
It has only made it faster.
Madam Toastmaster has done everything. She said everything. What should I say?
I know I'm getting better and better.
We are overloaded with a lot of information.
Is this affecting communication?
We have to have that balance.
You have limited amount of knowledge, so be at peace with yourself that you will not be able to express it.
That means I am saying good night to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So we have so many guests today because of open house. So I want to ask you all, do you know what is panel discussion? Especially guests. Yes, no.
Yes.
Are you a Toastmaster? So basically panel discussion is all about, I'm going to discuss one topic, like today's topic is communication strategies in changing world. And I'm going to invite panelists who is an expert in the field of public speaking. And at the end, you are going to ask your questions related to today's topic. So before I'm going to move forward, I'm going to invite all the panelists. She is into Toastmaster for 7 years. And out of that 7 years, she is into leadership role for 4 years. She is into media industry for 20 years and she owned multiple hats, from writer, producer to radio jockey. Who is a better, for the panelist other than her? Let's welcome Toastmaster Sunita Vinod. Second panelist is a champion, district champion, not in one contest, but almost 4 contests, which is a humorous speech contest, evaluation speech contest, table topic contest, and first runner-up in international speech contest. He conducted 200 educational sessions globally, and he has an experience of 15 years in keynote speaker, personal development, and he is a founder of Training Influence. Let's welcome Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Avinash Singh. And last but not the least, last panelist is Toastmaster Sony. He's an early member of Agnel Toastmasters Club. He's a passionate public speaker, visual communicator and brand strategy for 20 years of expertise, and a founder member of Brand Right. Apart from that, he's a devoted husband and a proud father of a daughter. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sony. I want to ask you one question. When it comes to communication, what is the most crucial factor? Anyone, just raise your hand.
To be understood.
Okay, to be understood. Feedback. Anyone from this side?
Deliver your concepts across the people.
Delivery?
Deliver your concepts across the people.
Yes. Basically, 3 crucial factors when it comes to communication strategy. First is audience. Second is your message. And the last and most important, channel of your communication, how you connect to the audience. And over the years, we have seen that the channel of communication is different. Like earlier, we used to communicate only in the physical mode. But from COVID onwards, we used Zoom and Teams and other platforms to communicate and also for networking. When it comes to communication strategy, building and maintaining is far more than that. And we dig deeper into that by asking some set of questions to our panelists. So our first question to Toastmaster Sunita: how have communication strategy evolved over the past 2 decades?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, let me speak from where I come from, my media industry. 20 years back, I guess communication was mainly one way. There was television, there was radio, print, which basically dominated. People were just taking content passively, but they couldn't interact back, right? the period of time, what we have seen, or I have seen, because I've been in all print, TV as well as radio, I've seen that broadcasting to an audience is not happening anymore, but engaging with audience, that is what is happening. It has completely changed and shifted because I think social media, digital medium, as well as phones, these have now, let's say, democratized communication to an extent that it's now supposed to be faster. It is supposed to be more demanding because someone has to accept your communication also, right? It's no longer you said it and you think that you said it best. Someone is swiping you left, right, scrolling you continuously and actually giving you feedback, right, on your communication. So now, yes, the communication from where it was static in one way, now it has become more two-way. It is no longer about just me speaking, but now it is about how I communicate, like not what I say, but how I say it. Facial expression, body language, everything now comes into picture, and not just my voice or not just my writing. So I guess, yes, the shift is now two-way. That's how I think communication is.
Yes, so the types of communication and the mode of communication increase over the time. What's your take on this Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster?
Thank you, moderator. Madam Toastmaster has done everything. She said everything. What should I say? So I remember, not 2 decades. I'm a little older than that, so I'll go a little, earlier than that. I remember I was in 6th standard, okay, and I liked a girl, and we said, okay, I love you, okay, and then how do I say good night to her, right? So we had a phone, okay, and if you receive one missed call, that means I am saying good night to you. That was the communication that we had. Today, you can you can actually see and understand each and everything what you want, right? Okay, so yeah, Toastmasters. I'm talking about. Okay, so when you are talking about, you have to understand that what she said, two-way. Earlier it was that I am speaking. Okay, so my vocal variety is there, maybe my verbal communication is there, but the body language is not. But nowadays, when you see people, okay, you can actually understand each and everything. So that has changed a little bit, and it has become a much better medium. We can connect not only here but throughout the world, and it is 24/7 connection. So I believe it has changed throughout. Now, if I want to say something, I text. Because I am not a big person on, so I have not evolved that much. But today, if you see Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they have different ways of communicating and different language in which they communicate. So it has evolved. There have been good strategies, but for me, I believe if you can use verbal and non-verbal together, then that is a proper communication, and today we are able to do that. So that is something which is good that is happening.
Yes, it was a way, safer way to communicate with your crush before 20 years back. So what's your take on this, Toastmaster?
Do you want me to talk about how to communicate with a crush, or
how is it what?
No, you talk about life.
Starting and taking the cue from distinguished Toastmaster. These days, a very important tool that we have at our hand, at our disposal, is WhatsApp. Now, with the easiness and with the quick communication that WhatsApp brings into our hands, there is also a danger that we all are aware of, is that it is expressionless. No matter how much emojis you use, the okay that you might type in an answer does not have the tonality of an okay that you are communicating face to face. So if, Say for example, your boss asks you to complete a task over the weekend, and if you were to say okay, now the boss will pick up on an emotion that was left behind on that Friday evening when you left the office. Were you happy? Were you irritated? That the ghost of that particular interaction will haunt this okay. So you need to be sure that you are not just typing in okay, but a little more so that your boss knows that this okay is not an irritated okay. It's not like okay. It's like okay. So maybe okay, I get it. Do you want it at this time? Can I send it after this because I have a engagement? So to answer your question, the way our communication techniques, human communication techniques are evolved over a period of time, from the times of cave painting like Toastmaster Vidya was talking about, to the times of emojis and these two-word communication. There are lots that we have lost and the lots that we have gained. It's up to us how do we manage and balance this.
And when someone texts me capital K, I thought that person is upset with me every time when it comes to WhatsApp. So now we move forward to our second question to distinguished Toastmaster Avinash. Has the advent of social media made communication strategies difficult or easy?
I feel it has made communication difficult because we are overloaded with a lot of information. And nowadays, even stand-up comedians fear for their life because people have started taking their opinions as facts. So the change that is happening, it is very difficult to manage. So earlier it was okay. Okay, now my strategy as a parent, okay, is that okay, lose the stick, spoil the child. Simple strategy. My father also used it. I also continue. But now I have married a psychotherapist. Right? Now she said you have to rationalize with your child. Okay. So there has been a lot of things which are changing, and I see that there are some times where when my son says, why, I say because I said so. Okay, because there is a limit. So what happens is when there is too much of something, okay, every day you get so much. He was talking about WhatsApp. I talk about WhatsApp University, right? Because people have graduated from that and they feel that they are entitled, and in COVID there were so many nice things, okay, which came out as cures. Okay. So communication in the right way is now becoming a challenge because there are so many opinions which are running around as facts. The only thing which we can do is we will have to question. Okay. And that is something I believe it can, as Toastmaster Sony also said, that we have to have that balance. How to bring that balance, we are still struggling with it. So I believe that is something I feel that overload of information has made us. Now I'm watching TV, I'm scrolling my phone. Even in the meeting, I was so engrossed. Someone messaged, and I want to message back right now. Okay, my wife is speaking to me. I am texting. So now the communication is not happening because there are so many things. We are so occupied and distracted. So that is why I feel that it is too much and we'll have to find a way.
And the term called nowadays is informational diarrhea. That's what it says. What's your take on this, Toastmaster Singh?
Now, if I have to give my opinion on this advent of social media and this widespread democratization of voicing out your opinions, there is one thing that we have to notice and learn: the way this thing is happening across. Now, look at the way in a democracy like our country, look at the way the political parties are communicating with us. They all have their strategy of how to capture our fears, and our beliefs. They are very quick to tell us who is the us and who is the they. Very easily, we, based on our own biases, our own fears, we fall victim to that kind of communication. Now, is this effective communication? Yes, from the people who are communicating. How do we save ourselves from falling victim to this? I think the answer lies in rationality. Like he said, question every time a WhatsApp University forward comes and hits your screen. Do not accept it or take it as it is. Use your own mind. Do not be sheeps. I think one thing that we need to cover for ourselves is to make sure that we do not fall victim to the tool that was invented to make communication easier for us.
And we don't have resources nowadays to check all the facts online. So that's also a question. What's your take on this, Toastmaster?
You were talking about political parties helping us to realize whether we are us or they, but the new generation is identifying themselves as us or they and as dinosaur and everything. There is no longer he, she. So communication has been just pulled to such an extent that at times you can't fathom what has happened to communication, the way people are communicating. Because when I first came to know that now people can be called they and them, I was wondering, my grammar teacher must be turning around in her brain. And it, how can I be it, right? So, I'm saying this communication has been just, it's now getting fragmented. Like you said, yes, we cannot believe WhatsApp University or friends or whatever who are more like-minded, where you can bounce of ideas. Because I personally believe that I can't have all the knowledge. I need to take from him, I need to take from him what they are saying. So if you be in a place like that, which is this room right now, Toastmasters, where we come from all places, I think we end up understanding better, and it will be nicer to know what to believe and what not. But if you typically ask me, social media made communication difficult or easier, I would say it has only made it faster. Nothing else but faster. The question is, can you keep up? And how are you going to keep up? But yes, use your brain and keep enhancing it by being in the right place and being among the right place.
Being logical at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So last question for today to Toastmaster Sunita. How does Toastmaster help us to build an effective communication strategy?
Very good question. Thank you for asking this. Now we all are here in this room, sitting, because there is something we think this group will help us to achieve. And most of us, we need a certain amount of push from like-minded people like what you say to help us come to the stage, stand and express ourselves. I joined this club in the year 2013, and for the first 6 months I was scared to come and stand here and talk. I remember senior members like Ron encouraging me to come over, and on the day when I stood here and I completely lost that fear and I could express myself, he said, Sony, you have crossed the Rubicon. And if you do not know what that is, go Google it, because that's exactly what he told me when I asked him what do you mean by crossing the Rubicon. Toastmaster does that. There's this thing called fear, which is stopping yourself from expressing yourself. And there are very many ways and methods that Toastmasters will teach you to overcome. That's what this forum does.
Yes, you have to show up again and again, and that's what Toastmaster is. What's your take on this, Toastmaster?
I think this is a beautiful place where you get to learn the art of influence.
Can you give example?
Can you hear me? You can't see me, I know. I guess it's a beautiful place to basically learn the art of influence, because as many times as you come here, I know I'm getting better and better. Why? Because I speak, someone gives me feedback, I adapt, I come back. It's a repeat that keeps me coming back to the meeting again and again and again. And there was in one of our regular meetings, there was one guest who came in and he changed the entire perspective of the club members. Because when he was asked for a feedback at the end of the meeting, how did you like the meeting? He actually brought to our notice that I've never seen a place where so many people are involved in making one person better. Because we have 5 dedicated persons to one speaker. We have a timer, timing the person, our counter, checking their fillers, grammarian, checking their language, and we have a dedicated evaluator as well, and there is a general evaluator who is going to tell you everything. So many people personally supporting one person, and then you have audience who's always clapping and appreciating and motivating them. So this is a room where each one, whether they are here basically audience or you're in audience, you all have to tag yourself on your map, because you today, by just coming to the meeting, have added value to this one speaker standing here. Whether helping me to get over my fear, teaching me how to speak better. There is no place like this. So Toastmaster basically helps you to keep improving your communication. Feedback over here is the key ingredient that we get, we take. And I think the world is evolving, changing. It's nothing to stop that. We are not looking for perfect speakers. We are looking for speakers who can adapt. And adaptable speakers is what Toastmasters need. So I guess brilliant space to be in if you want to keep improving your communication.
Yes, indeed. And when you messed up, then also people will come and tell you and encourage you to go for next speech. That's the beauty of Toastmaster. And last from our feedback master, evaluation champion, expressing the Toastmaster approach.
I remember Amitabh Bachchan from Mohabbat. Parampara, Pratishtha, Anushasana, right? गुरुकुल के 3 स्तंभ है, हमारे 4 हैं. We have 4: integrity, respect, excellence. Okay. First of all, we inculcate the value aspect. Then we say that refrain. It's not a taboo topic, but you refrain from sex, politics, religion, because these topics bring out a lot of emotions, and sometimes there can be conflicts. Okay. So you need a safe space to practice. Once you are a champion over here, go out and then talk about sex, politics, religion. No one can stop you, and you will be better equipped. So that is the structure that Toastmaster first of all provides. Then it caters to all the 4 aspects: LSRWIC, listening, speaking, reading, writing. Okay. So if you focus, you will be able to craft good speeches. Okay. People say that, do you craft a speech word by word? Yes. Because it helps me reflect, it helps me give a structure. Okay? Because I may know certain words, okay, in writing, but not in speaking. It has not come into my vocabulary. So it is very important. Then the best part is that today I was talking to my son. He doesn't like to write. He doesn't like to write. And all his book is question mark, late submission. Okay? And we are tired. And he's like, Papa, by evening everything will be complete. Super confident. I said the problem is not that. Okay? Thinking about doing something is not doing it. Making a strategy about doing it is not doing it. Having all the steps planned about doing it is not doing it. Okay? In the same way, thinking about speaking is not speaking. Making strategies, how will you come and do, is not speaking. Coming here. Once you come here, I take campus to corporate trainings where freshers come, okay, and I train them on communication. They start with day 1. Okay, I make them come at least thrice a day. After 6 days, 6 threes are 18 times they have come on stage, and they say that, oh, my stage fear has gone. What did you do, sir? Nothing. Just came on stage. So that's what Toastmaster provides. Come on stage. Okay? People, and I remember our distinguished Toastmaster, brilliant. What those 4 people will say, 4 log kya kahenge? Who is thinking? People judge. Okay? So in Toastmasters, there are a lot of things which make a good speaker, right? So if you follow, you will become a great speaker. Okay? And you just have to, but staying and being a part and a club member and just listening will not help. Be active, and then you will see the progress. Okay? And today it is like in reels they say, I learned this in 10 years, but I will tell you in 10 seconds. I will tell you in 10 seconds, but you will take again 10 years to. Okay? So that is the difference. Please don't fall for that. It takes gestation period. Will you become a good speaker? Yes. Will you become a great speaker? 10 years. Anupam Kher, I did acting from Anupam Kher's school. He said, if you want to be a star, wear goggle at night. People will say, oh, raat ko goggle, he must be a star. But if you want to be an actor, you will have to give 20 years. So if you want to be a good speaker, you will have to give time and come on stage. And that's what Toastmaster provides. And it is a fantastic. This is my 9th year and I'm a Toastmaster for life. And I'm very sure for most of the veterans who are here. That's what I think about it.
So for all the guests who are here and also for the very, very new members, if you can see this is your opportunity. There are 8 opportunities available. The table topics master will explain what exactly this is going to be, but make sure that if you have spent your time traveling from wherever you stay to this place, and if you are going to spend the rest of the time, or if you are not going to school after the samosa and the chai, make sure that you are the ones who will fill these empty places. I am looking forward to that. And you will realize what it is when you come on this stage.
Thank you for inviting all the guests here. And consistency is the key basically. You have to come again and again to become a good speaker. That's the key. So I'm going to ask you a quick question and you have to answer one question. So DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Avinash, evaluation or speeches?
Speeches.
Leadership or communication? Toastmasters meeting.
Leadership.
Movie with wife or Toastmasters meeting?
Movie with wife.
You need to share also.
So now the forum is open for Q&A. If guests and fellow Toastmasters have some questions, they can ask to our panelists. Yes.
She had spoken about how communication is not about broadcasting but engaging with the audience. Now, as a brand or a person, when I am communicating, what is the paradigm shift needed from my side to be able to do this?
So, actually, I read this somewhere, but I also realized that I was also teaching this for a very long time, even though somebody else did it very well. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this. Whether you like it or not, as a community, you're always being judged. You're being judged 10 feet away for how you're dressed. You will be judged 10 meters away for the facial expression you're carrying. And then you will be judged for the first 10 words that come out of your mouth. So 10, 10, 10. When you want to engage with anyone, even if it is one-on-one or I stand on stage, I have to take the energy from here to understand, are they going to listen to me in the first place? What is it that I need to do? Whether I start with a joke or say something absolutely absurd or simply just say something and just pause. You see everyone's head come up, and then you start again. That's another way of getting attention. So I guess engaging with audience is about understanding what they want. And you will get to understand that only in close proximity, the more and more you engage with people and speak to all ages. Because the way we speak to a child is different from the way we speak to an elderly person. Speak to everybody, take cues and remember that what worked. Read other people's expression. The expression you have is what they will give you also. So I guess that's the best way to engage. Show them what you want to receive back and give them what you were getting also from them. It's a two-way thing, but learn quickly, adapt quickly. Only way to do that, come here consistently, you know how they are reacting to you and keep applying. I hope I answered.
Yes, Vivek. Very well said, Toastmaster Sunita. Next question.
It's so much information, we are not able to process that. What is right or wrong? Before understanding what is right, I get a new aspect for that question, for that context. That's why I'm not able to justify which is right or which is wrong. That's why now you are saying that that's me or they, them or their studies, and starting to change my perspective for that topic or how they value, how I have to make that shift in my perspective, or how I have to think about it, how to discontinue myself from that thinking.
If I get your question right, you are, let me know if I got it right. You are perhaps asking how to make sure that the ideas that I'm expressing it clearly without other ideas overlapping while I am talking about the first reading. Is that what it right?
Also, what information I'm getting is right or wrong.
And how to know whether what I am relaying out is actually right or wrong. So, in my opinion, whenever you are communicating with somebody, you will not be able to communicate each and every thought that is coming to your mind, because the mind is infinite, so is the knowledge, facts around you, and opinions and all of those things. So one thing that what I generally do when there is this thing that I am talking about. It's a 2-minute speech that you're supposed to talk. Sorry, whoever is the tabletop master for stealing your thunder. It's a 2-minute speech on a topic which you are giving for the first time when you come here. Okay. Now you haven't prepared yourself with anything. You have limited amount of knowledge of what you are going to say. There are times when those topics are right, something that is up your alley, and you are able to express. But even then, there's only that many amount of data that you will be able to communicate. So be at peace with yourself that you will not be able to express it. Then make sure that you are speaking about that aspect which is coming first into your mind. Let that get out of your mind and express it clearly. So your focus should not be on stuffing your communication with a lot of data, rather to express it, whatever is coming into your mind, to the best format that somebody else understands it the way you want them to understand, rather than they forming their own different understanding. Focus on that first, everything else will follow. That's my advice to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. And one last question.
In a college where you were in a training phase where you help some students to come on the stage, and after a few sessions they realized that the fear has really decreased. So, because this is a question I received from most of the guests, is there any time frame or number of times one has to be on the stage, or how do you justify this count? I mean, I know it's very generic, but still, like, any thoughts that you could help us understand?
See, I cannot tell you the exact time per person because everyone is different. Okay, so it doesn't matter. For someone, even coming 3 times will do the trick. For someone, it might take 10 times. Right? So it is really subjective. But I feel that till you are out of it, keep coming. And once you are out of it, then your people have to stop you. Please don't come, let others also speak, right? Because once you have it, now I can speak, you will go on and on. So I believe it depends on you, how exactly you feel after 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. If you are good, keep coming. It's the point that the apprehension has gone. Then you don't have to focus on the stage fear. Then you can focus on how can I create a good stage, how can I work on my structure, how can I work on my delivery, okay, how can I impact people, engage people. All those things all those questions will come later. First, deal with the fear. So come here, even if you are, as he said, even if you don't know whatever comes to your mind. Life is like an ice cream. You don't know about life, talk about ice cream. But talk. Come and talk. That's the thing.
If this time, can I add to that?
Yes.
So the first thing that you need to realize is that do not define yourself as a bad speaker, because really you cannot be defined as anything. You are fluid. You are like water. Whichever tumbler, whichever glass, whichever vessel you are poured into, you take the shape of that. That is what exactly you is. So first thing first, do not define yourself. मुझे तो डर लगता है लोगों के सामने बात करने. So stop defining yourself using negative phrases. Second thing, get comfortable with people staring at you. I think that's one thing that I tell my mentees is that whenever you come into the room for the first time, do not worry what's going on. Come and stand on the stage and just look at people. Maybe the meeting hasn't started, so it's a good idea to come a little early, so that you're not disturbing the process. Stand and just look at the configuration of this room, look at how the tables are being laid out, look at a few people who are sitting and waiting. Some of them are biting the nails, some of them are completely confident. Just look at them and allow them to look at you. That's the absolute first psychological trick that you're playing to fool your mind that everything is under control.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sony. While most fear is glossophobia, which is a fear of public speaking. So what you can do, like TM Avinash said, you have to come again and again. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And then you come up with some occasional face on your blush on your face that I messed up. But there are people who encourage you every time, and that happened in Toastmasters only. Because I have worked in corporate also, so I said that. So you have to come again and again, and when it comes to the communication strategy, always work on your verbal as well as non-verbal communication, like Toastmaster Sunita said. And when it comes to the changing time, like Toastmaster Sony said that WhatsApp, university and all the social media platforms giving too much of information. But at the end of the day, you have to be logical, you have to be rational. And that's what our today's panel discussion come to an end. Our panelists will be there in the break, so you can connect after this session also. And thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Avinash, Toastmaster Sunita and Toastmaster Sony. Thank you so much for the wonderful audience being here. And over to you, Toastmaster Vidya.